Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Shem Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Our Connecticut. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity. This is just a continuation on the breakdown of the word ready, or just a quick exhortation on the word ready, and the lies that has been the feeble attempt of lies of Esau to try to hold on to discredit the fact that the Israelites were a people of color. And as you can clearly see, that iconoclasm was something new. You know, it just didn't happen during the Renaissance. It happened well before then, as you can see by this art that's on the cover of this book. But this book is the image of black art and black and Western art from the pharaohs to the fall of Rome. See, Rome was brought down by so-called black people. That's when it became the Holy Roman Empire, and went from being the pagan Roman Empire on the left to the Holy Roman Empire. All right, but Jake was still going off. All right, and this was the book that I used in the previous video on the critical historical facts channel, and it, you know, with the depiction of the of the Israelites, Satan, of the Israelites in slavery building the pyramids, and they were all brown complected people. And then I also use this book here from Frank Snowden Jr., Blacks in Antiquity, and I'm just going to read that portion on page 22 again, when it says, art in some respects more valuable than literature as a source of information for anthropological data, because it tells much of the text that the text does not about the amount of pragmatism. Well, we can stop right there. So basically what it says, the art will reveal the truth, and they'll say what they want to say in the text, within the books, within the words, within definitions. Changing definitions, they'll give you a definition that doesn't match the image that you're looking at. So in Frank Snowden's book, this is something I wanted to cover last night. I just wanted to read this portion right here, because this is the argument over Memnon, but this is what Philostratus' description, as you can see right there. All right, it says, Philostratus' description of the painting of Memnon show Anticlus seemed to strike terror among the Arcadians, the Achaeans. For before Memnon's time, black men were only a myth in the description of another scene of the Trojan War. Philanthropist notes, now check this out, because I've often used that image of Troy. But let me see if I can bring this into the frame. It says, he notes that the pure black of Memnon's face shows a certain ruddiness, and adds that the Ethiopian Memnon was transformed into a statue of black marble. So what they were trying to do was discredit the fact that Memnon was Greek, and what they tried to do was they wrote in their writings in the ancient time that he was Ethiopian, which was a lie, because the Greeks were dark complected people. They were a different dark race from the Africans. He was not. There is no Ethiopian history. With Memnon was a Greek name. All right. So as you begin to go into the art that ensues, because remember he said how important art is. All right, and you know, and then in the video, you remember when I showed you here we go, the certain ruddiness. This is how you know that so-called blacks, and the blacks that took over Rome were not Japhetic. They were not Greeks. That was a different dark race. The so-called blacks that took over Rome were the Israelites, starting with Septimius Severus. All right, and because the evidence of the art that they left behind is the evidence that they did so. All right, so once you remember how important art is, all right, it's clearly a black man riding upon an elephant. And so you know that so-called white people weren't ruling, all right, because that art, like Monroe, Bronze Augustus, all those began to disappear, and all of a sudden this art began to appear. And you know, and masters don't make art of their slaves. They just don't do that. All right. Even when you look at all the different bosses, you know, the features of these people, their noses and their faces are clear. That's why they like to chip away at the noses and the lips like they do, to try to hide those type of features. All right. But yeah, as you begin to turn through it, see a woman being tortured by satires. All right. Some sexual perversion from them Greeks. All right. But these images, Negroid victory driver in the chariot, and seated Heracles. Told you Hercules was a so-called black man. All right. And the images of the art depict that over and over again. Yet, you know, they write in their textbooks something different from the art which was found from the time period of the people who were actually there. All right. And these people were not so-called white people. They were not. All right. When it says, "I would take away your butt that was round like the tire, your tire round like the moon," you know, that was a time when all our women kind of looked like that. All right. But you can clearly see in this Greek art the presence of Jake. These were those Hellenistas. These were those Gentiles. All right, who were scattered Israelites. That in the book of Paul's, that this clown, you can clearly see that that's a black person. I don't know if it's a girl or boy, but you know, that's the way Jake built them cheeks like that, them wide lips, you know, the big noses, some thick lips. Okay, and like I said, and masters don't make art of their slaves. Okay. Jake was fully engulfed in that Greek lifestyle. That's when the scriptures say there was no difference between the Jew nor Greek. That's what that's talking about. All right. Now, you know, I really wasn't holding my Bible. I wasn't prepared. You know, the Spirit just jumped on me to do this real quick. So I'm making Bible references because I don't like to not bring out scripture. All right. And once again, I'm going to quote Psalms 85:11 when it says, you know, the earth will bring forth this evidence, roughly paraphrased. Truth will spring forth out of the earth. And these are the evidences that have been hid from the public when they're actually teaching history, all right, of the people, of the ruling class people in Greece and Rome after the fall of Rome, all right. These are clearly black people. The era of the black emperors, or they call them African emperors because they didn't want they tell you that much, but they didn't want to admit that they were Israelites. So you see these images like this. This is depicting cornrows, you know. So I mean, it's like he said, the art is more important than the written text in a lot of cases. For that fact, matter of fact, let me grab. I was able to reach my phone. Said this was done at, you know, I just started looking at this book and the Spirit jumped on me to do this. You know, reading some of the comments from the video from last night about this Scott Parsons clown, this Edomite Scott Parsons. But yeah, this is 2nd Ezra 6:27. And it reads, "For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched." All these lies. All right. "And as for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared." The truth is being declared. Call halal Yahweh Bashan Abashai Bashim Rakakwadash Wa Ababa Kwam Yasharala Shalom.